Hello, everyone. Welcome to 2D Board Gamers. My name is Dave,
And I'm Dirk.
and today we're gonna continue our Sinister Motives wave review of heroes. This is Nova.
Special place in my heart.
Yeah, so Nova has this distinction of being one of four heroes that came out on Con of Heroes Day One. So Nova and Ironheart came out for Con of Heroes 2022, and of course, Shuri and Silk came out for 2025.
Yeah,
But this deck, this hero in particular, has got an infamous part
well,
in
I think
Dirk's life.
famous, but
Infamous,
infamous. Okay,
infamous, even
so
more than famous.
I had a Maria recursion deck that I built with him, and I built it on site. I didn't have this pre-built. It was when I built on site to play a game.
We didn't pick up the hero.
Yeah, we didn't pick up the hero on site till on site, but I built it to play a game. We were playing a four-player game of Expert Ultron. And I turned up with my Maria recursion. I actually turned up playing Maria a total of 11 times in a single turn.
Your
So,
results may vary.
yes. I mean that I have not since duplicated that. I've gotten close, but I've not done 11 since then.
All right, well,
But
let's take a look at his kit.
that was the first time I piloted that deck with him too.
All right, so
All right, so his alter ego side here is Sam Alexander. It's a three costs, three recovery. He is a civilian, and as an alter ego action, you can spend a resource of any time. You search your deck and your discard pile for your supernova helmet. Pardon? Oh, for your supernova helmet, you add it to your hand. And if you used a wild resource, you can add that to play, or you put it in play.
yep. Okay, then on the hero side, Nova is a one thwart, one attack, two defense. He's a champion. After you use one of Nova's basic powers, thwart, attack, or defense, ready supernova helmet.
All right. Well, so we've mentioned the helmet a couple of times. The helmet is a one-cost upgrade. It is armor, and when he has it in play, he gains the aerial trait, which can be very important in certain deck builds. But as a hero resource, you can exhaust the helmet to generate a wild resource. And of course, then with his ability, you can ready it, so you
Right.
get two wild resources in essence out of it a turn.
And we're going to be talking about wild resources. He's like a close second, I guess, to Domino when it comes to how important wild resources
Yeah,
are.
they're pretty important. They don't quite do the same thing with his deck, but they're very important to him as well.
All right, but first we got his signature ally, which is Ms. Marvel. Three cost ally, one thwart, one attack, champion, inhuman, three hit points. So hero response. After you play an event, exhaust Ms. Marvel and deal one damage to her. Return that event to your hand. So very similar to the hero's ability, the Ms. Marvel hero ability.
Yeah, and she's one that I like to get her out and then not use her as blocker or anything or for attack and thwart unless I absolutely have to. I prefer to use her for her ability. I love that ability on her. All right, next we've got two copies of Force Field Protection. It's a one-cost event. It is a superpower. And as a hero interrupt, when a friendly character would take any amount of damage from an attack, you could prevent 3 of that damage. If you paid for that for this card using a wild resource, you deal 3 damage to the enemy or to an enemy, so it can be any enemy.
We had two.
And there's two of them. Yes, two copies of them.
All right. Then we got Lightspeed Flight, two cost event, superpower thwart, double the number of wild resources generated while paying for this card. So again, if you use the helmet, for example, hero action thwart, remove 3 threat from a scheme.
Two copies of, or no, 3 copies of this one.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, next we've got 3 copies of Pot Shot. It's a 2-cost event. It's an attack superpower. You double the number of wild resources to pay for this one as well. And as an attack hero action, you can deal 4 damage to an enemy.
Okay. And then next is a card that we're going to be talking about quite a bit in this video. Unleash the Nova Force.
Key to his decks.
Yeah, we have 2 copies. It's a 1-cost event. Superpower, max 1 per round. Hero action until the end of the round. Each time Nova defeats an enemy or removes the last threat from a scheme, ready Nova and draw a card. So you're going to see how critical that is.
Now you kind of start to see why it works so well with the against Ultron.
Yeah. And then
Then you've got also 2 copies of Connection to the World Mind. It is a resource card that he's got here. It does not count against your hand size or toward your hand size. So whenever you're drawing up at the end of the turn, if this is in your hand, in essence, you're getting an extra card, and it provides a wild resource.
Right, and it's really good for triggering the wild resource on those turns, like when you're going to unleash the Nova Force.
Yes, in fact, those cards in particular, I have a tendency whenever I'm playing him, unless I really need to play something else, I will hold onto those cards until I can get Unleash the Nova Force or something to that effect.
All right, then we got Jesse Alexander. It's a 2-cost support, persona, alter ego action. Exhaust Jesse Alexander. Shuffle 1 copy of Connection to the World Mind from your discard pile to your deck. Draw a card. And I got to check what the cat's doing. Okay.
And then moving on to his obligation here, it's Weight of the World. So you give it to the Sam Alexander player. While it's in place, the Supernova helmet cannot be readied. So that means even including at the beginning of or at the end of your turn, whenever you normally unexhaust everything, you cannot ready that card. So as an alter ego action, you exhaust Sam and remove this one from the game.
Right. And of course, that prevents you from using Unleash the Nova Force effectively.
Yes.
All right. Then his signature nemesis is Warbringer, 1-cost scheme, 3 attack, 5 hit points, brute, Centauri. Chitauri. Force interrupt. When Warbringer attacks you, he gets +1 attack for that attack for each card with a printed wild resource in your hand. And this attack gains overkill.
So he's kill on sight, in other words.
Just don't have wild cards in your deck.
Yeah, right. All right, then the side scheme for his Nemesis set is Bring the War. It comes in with 2 threat, and when revealed, each player discards 1 card they control with a printed wild resource. For each card discarded this way, place 1 threat here. So it could be up to 6 in a 4-player game, and it also has a hazard symbol on it.
Okay, but these next 2 cards, there's a reason to have wilds in your deck. So this is War Delivery. We have 2 copies. It's a treachery. When revealed, you may spend a wild resource. If you do not, the villain and Warbringer each attack you, even if you're in alter ego form. Boost, place 1 threat on the main scheme for each card with a printed wild resource in your hand. So as an encounter card, you want wild. As a boost, you do not want wild.
Yes. All right, and then the last card we've got here is the treachery card from the Nemesis set is The War's Been Brought. This one comes with Surge. When revealed, you discard X cards from the top of the encounter deck, where X is equal to the total number of printed wild resource cards in your hand, cards under your control, and cards in your discard pile. So basically it counts everything except for what's in your deck, and that's how many cards you mill from the top of the encounter deck. So basically what that one's going to do, what the intent of that one is to add an acceleration token every time it comes out. Or that's what it's trying to do.
Okay, so Nova is a champion. So, you can build a champion tribal deck if you wish. If you want to see more details on the champion allies, please check out our Spider-Man Miles hero review. We go over the champion allies in more detail there.
Yep. Well, we do have we do have a champion-specific card here that we thought was worth calling out.
Yeah.
It is Go for Champions. It's a 3-cost event, max 1 per deck. You do have to be a champion to play this one, and as a hero action, each champion character in play cannot take damage until the end of the round. So no matter what you do, you can't take damage until the end of the round as long as you're a champion. The one caveat to this card, it's not printed on here, but there has been an errata to this, that once you play this card, you remove it from the game. So it's not a victory or anything, it's just removed from the game. So you cannot discard this one and play it again later.
Okay. Now, Nova likes wild resources, of course. So this card is pretty nice. Digging Deep. After this card is discarded from the top of your deck, add it to your hand. So if you encounter a treachery card that forces you to discard some cards, and this is one of the cards you get discarded, then you get to add it to your hand, which is nice.
But primarily it's in there because it is a wild resource which doubles for half of its cards.
Yeah, and it is a double wild as well, but you might be able to get its text as well.
Yeah. Nice added bonus. All right, here's one that we don't see in play a whole lot. Everyday Hero. It is a wild resource, but while your identity has the civilian trait, this card can be spent for any player and gains the text, after you spin this card for a player, heal 1 damage from that player's identity. And of course, When you're in hero form, you don't have civilian, but you do have it here in alter ego. And I think this was his pack that this came in, wasn't it? Where
Uh,
we first saw this, I think.
I can't see the symbol.
Yeah, it is. Yep, same symbol.
Say okay.
So yeah, it's his pack that this one first came in. But yeah, no, this one is one. It's really nice because it does provide the wild resources that you like with him. But if you're a civilian, then you can actually use it for somebody else and heal one for them.
And he's on the art, so you
Yep.
have to play it.
Yeah.
All right. Uh, then he gets aerial, just by having his helmet. So the power of flight is a great card. Double the number of resources this card generates for paying for an aerial card. Now you don't get a wild, but the doubling the wild is really for just his cards. If you're building an aerial deck, you're going to want more.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have stuff that's not in his kit.
Yeah, and if you want to see some deck ideas for aerial decks in general, see our Angel Hero review that we got. We go into a lot of there. We talk about it in Falcon and Rogue a little bit as well.
Yep.
So yeah, so he could build any kind of standard aerial deck that those heroes could do as well.
All right. And then, of course, team building exercise here. If you're building something champion specific, then this can work with him. But
Aerial.
or aerial, yes, that's correct. So team building is a 2-cost support, and as a hero action, you can exhaust it, and you play a card that shares a trait with your hero, or with your hero, reducing the cost by 1. So it helps actually reduce the cost a little bit there as well.
All right. And then we got Def Focus here. It's a 1-cost upgrade. Hero action, exhaust Def Focus, reduce the resource cost of the next superpower card you play this turn by 1. And he's got quite a few superpowers. I don't remember how many.
10.
Okay, he's got 10 superhero cards. So, and some of them are upgrades, I think, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right. And then back to Ariel here a little
Back
bit.
to Erica. So we've got Soaring Acrobatics. So this one is you can play it under any player's control, maximum per player. It's a 2-cost upgrade skill. But when an aerial character you control uses a basic power, you can exhaust this character to get +1 power for that use. So now it only works for a single use and you exhaust it. But where that's nice is if you've got the if you played one of the Unleash the Nova Forces, this can add that one you need to kill an enemy or to remove an additional threat so that you can ready yourself and take another action. So that's why this one's really nice.
Okay, so pull out the Unleash the Nova Force for a second. So Unleash the Nova Force, you actually have to defeat an enemy or a scheme to ready and draw the card. So sometimes they're going to have a little extra health or a little extra threat. So the nice thing is this Soaring Acrobatics and some other cards we talk about, you could do, because this lasts till the end of the round. So you could, sometimes you might have to throw.
No, it's for this use. It's only for the single use.
No, I'm talking about Unleash the
Nova Force. Unleash. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, because so sometimes you're not going to be able to keep the chain going. So you have to play another card to get a minion or a scheme low enough so that you can continue the chain. And so being able to ready an extra time is great, for trying to get that. So leave Unleash Nova Force out.
Oh, okay.
All right. So another card. So we have some cards to ready Nova to kind of help. Well, we're going to need to put the card. So we, like I said before, to be able to continue the chain going. So sometimes the chain is going to get broken, so you need ways to ready again.
So Tenacity, of course, is a classic way to do this. It's a 2-cost upgrade. You spend a strength resource and discard this card to ready your hero. And of course, with Nova, there's a good chance you're building with a lot of wilds, so you can use the wilds to pay for this as well.
Okay. Another way to help with Unleash the Nova Force, you're playing aggression or you have an aggression player in the game, you can beg them to give you a combat training, which will give you +1 attack. So now you are doing 2 points of damage. And the same thing with thwarting. So any ways that you can buff up your stats. So now you're a 2 attack, 2 thwart. You have a better chance of keeping the Nova Force going if you've got combat training and heroic intuition on your hero.
Yeah, because the one thing about this is it does have to be Nova that defeats the enemy or the scheme. Yeah. So it can't be one of his allies.
All right, so we're going to just set that aside and bring it back when we need it.
Right. Then, as far as for the aerial themes here, we've got Bombs Away. It's a 2 cost event. It's an aerial tactic. You can exhaust an aerial character you control and choose a player. You deal 3 damage to the villain, and each minion engage with that player. Of course, you could exhaust Nova, or you could exhaust any other aerial character if you're playing an aerial build.
Okay, I didn't realize he pulled all the aerial cards.
And pull all of them, just the ones that deal with aerial specific characters.
Okay, so
And not even all of them.
So we got Dive Bomb here. It's a 4 cost event. Play only if your identity has the aerial trait. Deal 7 damage to an enemy. Deal 1 damage to each other enemy I see.
Now, this is a good one to use whenever you don't have Unleash the Nova Force. Because when you've got Unleash the Nova Force, you probably don't want to do this one, because then you kill everybody off in one shot. You don't get all the card draw.
Well, it depends on the health of the.
Yes, it does, but you don't want to kill all your little ones off because you want to use Unleash the Nova Force to get the card draw.
So you may not want Home Technique, I guess is what he's getting at, because you do 5 points of damage to each minion.
Yeah, you want to be
But
careful.
if you have a lot of strong minions, then you might want to get them down to 1 hit point.
Yeah, that's going to be one
or 2 hit points.
If you know who you're going against, it kind of helps you kind of customize that a little bit to whatever works better for you.
All right, then we got Pitchback. It's a 1 cost event. Play only if your identity has the aerial trait. After your hero attacks, deal 4 damage to an enemy. So this is another one that can help with Unleash the Nova Force if you got somebody that's a little beefier.
Or you can use it to kill a second enemy.
Yeah.
Or put another enemy into range.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was going to get at. All right, then we got Battle Fury here.
So Battle Fury is a 1 cost upgrade. It's a condition. You can play under any player's control, max 1 per player, but as a response, after your hero attacks and defeats a minion, you deal 1 damage to your hero and discard Battle Fury to ready your hero. So this is one of those, like Dave mentioned earlier, if the chain gets broken and you want to start it back up again, then this is a way you can do that. You take 1 point of damage, you ready yourself, and you can keep going.
Right. Yeah, so say you got combat training and you're going to be you're going to get ready. And then, you need a little extra oomph on an enemy with 4 health, there you go. All right, and then Justice.
All right, for Justice here, the first one we've got is Agile Flight. It's a 3 cost event. It's an aerial thwart card. You do have to have aerial to play this, but you can remove a total of 5 threat from among schemes as you choose. And I love the versatility of this one. It's a little bit more expensive than some. Than like say, for other cards, if you cost 3, you can remove 6 with Crisis Averted. But I love the fact that you can remove this from multiple different schemes, so you can actually whittle a couple of down to where they're in range of Unleash the Nova Force, so that you can keep that chain
You
going.
might be able to conceivably get like up to 5 schemes, depending on.
Yep.
And then you're
I mean, if you're doing something like Red Skull or something, that's totally plausible.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we've seen that with other ones, but with him, it's very plausible.
Mutagen formula.
Yeah.
There's a lot. And Nova's on the art, so you have to play it.
Yeah.
And Nova's on this one. So.
Actually, I think this one I think came with this kit too.
Yaw and Roll, 1 cost event, play only if you're aerial. After your hero thwarts, remove threat from a scheme. So again, this could be you defeat a side scheme, and then you're removing 3 threat from another one to whittle it down to continue the Nova Force.
Yep, or a big sweep just to do a larger one in a single shot.
Okay.
Then we've got Justice Served. It is a 1 cost upgrade, and this is play under player's control, max 1 per player. But after you thwart and remove the last threat from a scheme, you can discard this to ready your hero. Again, this is another one of those that if the chain is stopped, you can use this to continue on.
Yeah. Or on a turn you don't have Nova Force.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, this would be on a turn you don't have Nova Force, because if you've got Nova Force, you're already doing this.
Right.
Good call. Right here, we've got a 1-cost event for leadership. It's You Got This. It's a tactic, but as a hero response, after you exhaust your hero and make a basic thwart or attack, you can discard an ally you control to add that ally's matching power to your hero's power for this use, and then ready your hero. So not only are you increasing the size of this attack or thwart, but it guarantees you a ready afterwards. So this one's good to be able to use your power when you're not using Unleash the Nova Force, or if you've got something big that you're trying to get through, you can do the same thing.
Great way to whittle it down.
Yep.
All right, then we got Flying Formation. It's a 4-cost event. It's an alliance card, but you get to ready up to 3 aerial characters. So this is great for when you're playing an aerial swarm deck.
It's a little expensive to play it if you're doing just Nova is the aerial, but so you'll want to do an aerial thing on this, but Go ahead.
But yeah, so like the previous card where you have
Yeah.
to exhaust an ally. So if that was an aerial ally that you exhausted, you're going to get two. There's two characters right there.
Yeah, but the other great thing about this one is because it has the alliance keyword on it, other players can help you, and it can ready players other than or characters other than yours.
Yeah,
So as long as they have the aerial trait, it doesn't matter.
right. So I could sit there and go, okay, I'll ready Cannonball and Nova, and then you can ready,
Yep.
your character, one of your allies. Yeah. All right. Then we got anticipation here. It's a one cost upgrade. When you engage a minion, discard, ready your hero. So it's all about readying. So the nice thing with this is say you had to defend during the villain phase, and now you're exhausted, and then you draw a minion. Well, now you're ready because it's like, oh, now I can trigger. Now I can use my basic, and if you happen to have the Unleash Nova Force, your chain might have been broken, because you defended. This is a way to undo the being
Yep.
exhausted.
Right, and again, looking at the untapping or unexhausting, desperate defense. It's a one-cost event, defense event. So whenever your hero defends against an attack, you get +2 for the defense, and if you don't take any damage, you can ready your hero. So of course, you do have to be able to not take damage during that, but it allows you to ready afterwards. And if you're playing protection, you probably got things that can increase your defense that you're already playing.
All right, then we got Ever Vigilant. It's a two-cost event. You can only play it if you're aerial. Ready your hero. Remove 2 threat from the main scheme. Now, removing the 2 threat is nice, but the main thing is for Nova
Ready.
is you want to be ready.
Yep.
But removing the 2 threat is a bonus.
All right. Then we've got here, what doesn't kill me? It's a 2-cost event. It does require strength, but of course you can use wild to pay for that. But as a hero action, you can heal 2 damage from your hero and ready them. The thing is, since it has the arrow, you do have to actually be able to heal damage before you can use that. So,
all right. Then we have Height Advantage, 1-cost upgrade. While your identity has the aerial trait, reduce the amount of damage you take from each enemy attack by 1. And when your turn begins, discard. So this doesn't really help with the Nova Force so much, but it's nice to just not take so much damage.
Yep. All right, then we've got Indomitable. It is a 1-cost upgrade. Its condition, as a response after your hero defends, you can discard Indomitable to ready your hero.
All right. And then we got good old Stick-to-itiveness, 2-cost pool upgrade. Spend a strength resource and exhaust this card to ready your hero. So again,
the upgraded tenacity.
Right. So if you didn't, if the chains got broken, you could, this could help salvage it. And the nice thing over tenacity, is that it stays in play, but of course you're playing pool at that point.
Although, yeah, if I'm playing Nova Pool, I probably actually got a copy of this and tenacity in my hand.
Yeah. Maybe.
Sorry, in my deck, yeah.
Or maybe even 3 copies of tenacity.
That is true.
Okay, so yeah, this Nova, he's pretty fun. And like it's infamous on this channel with Dirk's crazy Maria deck. But yeah, that first Con of Heroes was pretty fun because, well, I didn't get to play Nova until we got back home.
Yeah, once I got a taste of him, I wasn't giving him up for the rest of the con.
But I played a lot of Ironheart because
Yeah.
Ironheart came out, and that will be the next hero that we will review. All right, well, and Ironheart's one of my favorites too.
Yes.
So, thank you for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe.
And if you want to see new content by us, go ahead and hit that notification bell, and you'll get alerted whenever we put up new videos.